Billionaire returned home, late, caught maid, protecting his son. What he did next shocked everyone. A billionaire finds his maid protecting his son from his own wife. The wife is screaming. The maid won't move. What secret pushed a perfect mother to this breaking point? And why is this maid the only one who can save this child? Before we dive in, let us know in the comments, what time is it and where are you watching from? Let's start. Marcus Delgado, 32, had built his fortune in cryptocurrency, riding the wave at exactly the right time and cashing out before the crash. His Mediterranean estate with cascading pink bougainvillea was his crown jewel, a symbol of everything he'd achieved. His wife, Elena, was 28, a former Instagram influencer who'd built a following of 2 million before they married. Beautiful, glamorous, and increasingly obsessed with maintaining her image and her lucrative brand partnerships. Their son, Lucas, was 9 years old and had been in a wheelchair for 3 months, not from illness or accident, but from a corrective spinal surgery that should have had him walking again within weeks. But Lucas refused to do his physical therapy. He screamed when therapists came. He claimed the pain was unbearable. The doctors said it was psychological. Elena said he was being dramatic. Marcus didn't know what to believe. Grace Martinez, 33, hired 2 months ago. The black woman came with impressive references. Former physical therapist, worked with pediatric patients, impeccable background. She wore her blue and white uniform with quiet professionalism. Her yellow rubber gloves always on, always ready to help. But there was something else about Grace. Something watchful, like she was waiting for something. Marcus had been in Dubai closing a real estate deal. He'd texted Elena he'd be home Thursday, but his meeting ended early, and he caught a Tuesday afternoon flight instead. He didn't announce his early arrival. Some instinct told him not to. When he quietly entered through the side gate that afternoon, he heard Elena's voice, shrill and desperate. "Move, now! This is between me and my son!" Marcus rushed forward and froze at what he saw. Elena, in her designer floral dress, stood 15 feet from Lucas's wheelchair, gripping a heavy ceramic garden statue. But she wasn't threatening. She was frantic, terrified, her 28-year-old face streaked with mascara tears. Between them stood Grace, arms spread wide in her blue and white uniform, yellow gloves still on from cleaning. Her 33-year-old face was set with absolute determination. "Mrs. Delgado, I cannot let you near him," Grace said firmly. "Not until you calm down. Not until we talk about what's really happening here." "He's my son. You're just the maid," Elena sobbed. "You don't understand. Nobody understands. I have to do this for him, for us." Lucas sat in his wheelchair, his 9-year-old face pale and terrified, his light-colored shirt damp with sweat. "Dad," he whispered, spotting Marcus. "What the hell is going on?" Marcus demanded, striding forward. Elena spun toward him, and he saw something in her eyes he'd never seen before. Complete desperation, bordering on madness. "Marcus, thank God. Tell her to move. I need to get to Lucas." "Why do you have a statue in your hands, Elena?" It's not. I wasn't going to." She looked down at her hands as if surprised to find them holding anything. I needed him to listen." Grace hadn't moved. "Mr. Delgado, I need you to trust me. Take your wife inside. Let me stay with Lucas. And then we all need to have a conversation about what's been happening in this house." She's trying to turn you against me, Elena cried. Marcus, please. She's been poisoning your mind, telling you I'm a bad mother. I've never said anything about you to Mr. Delgado, Grace said calmly. But we both know what I found last week. We both know what you've been doing. The garden went silent except for the rustling bougainvillea. Marcus looked at his wife. Really looked. She'd lost weight. Her hands trembled constantly. Her eyes had dark circles no amount of makeup could hide. How had he not noticed? Elena, he said carefully, put down the statue and come inside with me. I can't. If I don't fix this, if Lucas doesn't walk. Her voice broke. Everything falls apart. Everything. What falls apart? My sponsors, my brand deals, my followers. The words tumbled out in a rush. They want perfect family content. They want miracle recovery journey posts. But Lucas won't do his therapy. He won't cooperate. If he doesn't walk, I lose everything. The deals are contingent on engagement, on the story, on the narrative. Marcus felt confused. Elena, we don't need sponsor money. I have more than enough. It's not about need, Elena screamed. It's about me, my identity, my worth. Before I was your wife, I was somebody. I had 2 million followers. I had brands begging to work with me. Now I'm just crypto wife. Unless I have my own success. These deals, $50,000 a month, they're mine. They prove I'm still relevant. But they want the inspirational content. They want Lucas walking. They want the miracle. Grace's voice cut through. So you've been forcing Lucas to pretend he can't do physical therapy, making him scream during sessions, coaching him to play up the pain, all so you could drag out the recovery story for better content engagement. Elena's face crumpled. No, I mean, it's not like that. I saw the coaching sessions, Grace said quietly. I recorded them. Lucas begging to try walking, and you telling him, not yet, baby. We need more sympathy posts first. You telling him the doctors are wrong, that he needs to wait. You feeding him extra pain medication to keep him groggy and dependent. Marcus turned to his son. Lucas, is this true? The 9-year-old boy nodded, tears streaming down his face. Mom said if I walked too soon, people would stop caring about her posts. She said her followers wanted to see me struggle first. She said it was my job to help her stay famous. Jesus Christ, Elena. His wife sank to her knees on the grass, the statue falling from her hands. I never meant to hurt him. I just needed a little more time, a few more months of content. The brand deals can go to hell, Marcus finished coldly. He looked at Grace. How did you know? I'm a licensed physical therapist, Grace said. I've worked with post-surgical pediatric patients for 10 years. Lucas's recovery timeline didn't make sense. His pain didn't match his physical presentation, so I started watching, and I saw Mrs. Delgado coaching him. Why didn't you come to me immediately? Because I needed proof. Because mothers like this are excellent at making people like me look vindictive or jealous. Because I knew if I accused her without evidence, you'd fire me, and Lucas would lose his only advocate. She was right. Marcus would have defended Elena. He would have believed his wife over the maid. Show me the recordings, he said. Grace pulled out her phone. For the next 10 minutes, Marcus watched video after video of his wife manipulating their son, coaching him to scream during therapy, bribing him with toys to refuse to walk, telling him her career depended on him staying in that wheelchair just a little longer. He felt sick. Elena, he said finally, go inside. Pack a bag. You're leaving tonight. Marcus, please. You exploited our son for social media engagement. You medically abused him. You're done here. Elena looked at Grace with pure hatred. This is your fault. You ruined everything. No, Grace said quietly. I saved your son. There's a difference. As Elena stumbled toward the house, Marcus knelt beside Lucas's wheelchair. Can you walk, buddy? Really? I don't know. It's been so long. Mom said... Forget what Mom said. Grace, what's the truth? The 33-year-old woman knelt on Lucas's other side. The truth is, Lucas could have been walking 2 months ago. But the psychological damage from what his mother did is real. He's terrified. He needs therapy. Real therapy, not performance therapy. And he needs time. Can you help him? Yes, if you let me, if you trust me. Marcus met her eyes. This woman had stood between his son and harm, had risked her job to gather evidence, had been the only one brave enough to call out the truth. I trust you, he said. Over the next 6 months, Grace worked with Lucas daily. Not as a maid. Marcus immediately promoted her to Lucas's full-time physical therapist and care coordinator, tripling her salary. Elena had been removed from the home. Marcus filed for divorce and full custody. The court-ordered psychiatric evaluation revealed Elena had narcissistic personality disorder exacerbated by social media addiction. She'd lost touch with reality, unable to separate her online persona from actual motherhood. By month 3, Lucas took his first unassisted steps with Grace's support. He cried from joy, from relief, from the weight of his mother's manipulation finally lifting. By month 6, Lucas was walking independently. Not perfectly. He still needed occasional use of the wheelchair for long distances, but he was mobile. He was free. One evening, as Grace was preparing to leave, Marcus stopped her. I need to ask you something. Why did you really take this job? Grace looked at him for a long moment. You want the truth? Always. My daughter died 3 years ago. She was 8. Brain cancer. I was her physical therapist, and then I was her mother watching her fade. After she passed, I couldn't work with sick kids anymore, but I couldn't give up helping children either. So I started taking positions as a caregiver, looking for kids who needed advocates. You're looking for kids in trouble. I'm looking for kids nobody else is protecting. And Lucas, I saw the signs immediately. A mother too perfect on social media. A child whose recovery didn't match medical reality. I've seen it before. How many times? Lucas is the 4th child I've helped remove from an abusive situation. Different circumstances each time, but the pattern is the same. Parents who care more about image than child welfare. Marcus felt his throat tighten. You're a vigilante physical therapist. I'm a mother who couldn't save her own child, Grace said softly, so I save other people's children instead. Well, I want to help you do more. Over the next year, Marcus funded Grace's mission. They created a non-profit, the Guardian PT Project. Grace trained other physical therapists to recognize signs of parental medical abuse and manipulation. The organization worked with hospitals and child protective services to identify children being harmed in the name of social media content or parental mental illness. Lucas, now 10, thrived. He walked with only minor limitations. He started regular therapy to process his mother's abuse, and he found purpose in speaking to other kids about trusting the adults who actually protected them. On the 2-year anniversary of that day in the garden, Marcus, Lucas, and Grace planted a tree together, a Japanese maple with vibrant red leaves. "What should we name it?" Lucas asked, his 11-year-old voice strong and clear. "How about the Truth Tree?" Grace suggested, "because the truth saved you." "I like that," Lucas said. He turned to Grace. "You saved me because I reminded you of your daughter, didn't you?" Grace nodded, tears in her eyes. "You did? You do? What was her name?" "Sophia." "Then we should name it after her, the Sophia tree, because she made you into someone who saves kids." Grace broke down crying, and Marcus and Lucas both hugged her. This 35-year-old woman in a blue and white uniform who'd stood between a child and harm when no one else would. Grace stood up when no one else would. If this moved you, like and share this video. Subscribe for more stories of everyday heroes. Have you ever had to protect a child against the odds? Comment below. Keep believing in unlikely heroes.